All right, guys, right behind me is the actual Airbnb where I've been making the last few videos because, as you guys can see, there is no car parked here. My car is currently getting a lot of love and maintenance. Essentially, when we were coming back, my buddy and I were coming back from Port Sudan. There was a huge explosion in the engine bay, and long story short, yeah, that was really bad after multiple tows. It's a long story, but I'm not gonna ruin it now by telling it now. So I'll save that story for later, and we'll just continue as to where we were last time. The last time I made a video, it was about Luxor, and you know, I kind of felt bad when I made the video because I felt like there was a lot more to be said. And one of the comments, the only comments actually, said that, you know, it was disappointing how short of a video it was. And I couldn't agree more. It was pretty short. I just know that like most people don't really like long style videos. Boring. But I figure, you know what? If someone enjoys it, if one person enjoys the lengthy video, why not take the time and just go ahead and put it out there? Especially since I do have the time to make it now. So what I want to do is just like, just go ahead and put some music in the background and you guys can see a little bit more sights. And look, this is actually like literally my car. It's like the exact same car. It looks the same year too. It's a 2002 Pajero. Yeah, but hey, we're focusing more on Luxor right now. So hopefully you guys enjoy this montage of clips. All right, now that the clip of videos is over, we'll go ahead and talk about what we did after Luxor. So after the hot air balloon ride, my buddy and I came back, packed our things, and we headed to Aswan. And the ride there wasn't anything like we hadn't already seen. Just a lot of desert, and the roads were actually really good, and it's not a lot of road maintenance going from Luxor to Aswan, being that, you know, it's like a 3 or 4 hour trip versus a long haul trip. Once we got to Aswan, you could definitely tell that, you know, you're kind of getting away from the realm of tourism. A lot of military checkpoints, not just police this time. And, you know, they asked my buddy questions like, what are you doing with these 2 Americans? Especially you, who are you? Are you American? And I was like, yeah, American, definitely not Ethiopian. In Aswan, there's not a whole lot to do. There's one site, which you guys know I butcher names, so the name is right here. Once you get to the site, you have to buy a ticket. Ticket's not too expensive. I think it's like maybe $10 USD. But here's how they get you. In order to actually go see the sights, you have to take like a boat, and the boat is quite expensive, to be honest. Like, I think it costs like maybe 40 or 50 bucks. So it's like a $10 ticket, which doesn't come with a ferry. And I was kind of like, well, that's a surprise. But it is what it is, you know. I know that sometimes you have to pay these prices because there's not a whole lot of tourists. I went back and forth with them. I was like, man, this is too high. You know, I want a lower price because in Africa, unlike the, I mean, you can do it in Asia too. Unlike the US and Europe, you can barter on just about anything except for like fuel. And eventually we got them to go for like 40 bucks. And I was just like, all right, at least we got a small discount. So once we took the ferry from the dock to the site, it was really gorgeous, like really, really cool. You could definitely tell that there was a lot of influences from the Roman Empire, and that was mixed in with the Egyptian heritage or the Egyptian culture as well. Amigos, so we are here in Aswan. So this is a really old church that apparently was disbanded for some reason. I don't really know why. Bro, why did they disband this church?
This is a church of Saint Simon. It was built in the 7th century AD, and it was abandoned in the 13th century AD because of shortage in water. As you can see, the lines of water has died like from there to there. So the Nile is really near, like from there.
Yeah, I can actually kind of see like the grooves of where the river used to be.
Yeah, you can see the grooves and everything of the river, but it's all dried, you know.
Is it because of global warming back then?
No, it's like, you know, climate change, and it happens like from time to time, you know. Like sometimes the river do change the pathway. When the river changed the pathway, the people of the monastery have left, like the monks and everything. Later on, it's happened a restoration, and here we have the new monastery.
So this is the new one?
This is the new one, yeah, and has like tanks of water and everything.
It looks really nice too, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think, and that's written in Arabic, like, you know, something that's really unusual for me is to see Christian pictures, but with Arabic writings on top, you know.
Why not? This is the Eastern Orthodoxy or the Eastern Coptic
Now,
for
I
the
do have a
next year.
question for you. Like, way in the distance, there's this really nice building. Is that a mosque or a church, or what is that?
This is the Grand Church of Aswan, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, bro, we should go check that out, huh?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Alright, guys. That's all for today. Today was been a pretty nice day. We checked out
Yeah,
a
for
site
this
called,
one, this is the Saint Simon.
Yeah?
This one, like, Inba Hadra.
Bahadro.
Yes, Inba Hadra.
Inba Hadro.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Okay, you're welcome, mate.
Alright, cheers. And in Aswan, I would actually say goodbye to my good friend, Ayman. He said, I've had a great time. I've loved it. I would go to Sudan with you if I had a visa, but it is time for me to go back and for you to keep going. And I said, all right, bro. So we dropped him off at the train station, and he went back to Cairo, where he would resume his tour trip. And I felt like a part of me just kind of died. Like, no, I'm gonna miss you, bro. While we were in Aswan, Carlos and I, we ended up just changing the oil, making sure the car was good to go. I got some extra canisters of gas as well. All right, guys, so if you ever decide to get extra fuel, make sure to test that out with water or something. At least the canisters you find that aren't brand new, because likely what's going to happen is there's going to be a small puncture, whether it be on the bottom, like the first one, or the second one where it's at the very top. So this is going to be our third attempt at trying to get an extra fuel canister. Going from Egypt to Sudan, it's nice to have. Not absolutely necessary, but it's definitely nice to have because you never know if you're going to run out of fuel and there's not going to be a gas stop somewhere. So big lessons learned today. Sudan is ridiculously expensive. Like it's like $100 to fill my tank. Granted, I can go like 1,000 kilometers. Well, 1,000 if I'm efficient. If not, like maybe 800, 750, 800. But everything is expensive here. So Carlos and I packed up the car once again, once we saw literally the only sights in Aswan, and we made our way down to Abu Simbel. Not a long drive, maybe like 2 hours or something. Once we got to Abu Simbel, there is a site there, but we were pressed on time. Once we got further south, like our time was very limited. We had to be at the border before a certain time because Carlos had a flight planned and everything. So we made sure to grab some last minute things, like some noodles and stuff like that in case I get broken down in the side of the road. And the next day, we called them fixers. We met our fixer, who was basically a guy who knows how the whole custom process works, going from one border to the next. So for this instance, going from Egypt to Sudan, and he said, all right, give me passport's copy of this. You have to have your PCR test. And I was happy he was there, even though he really is not cheap. It's $200 just for his assistance, which is an obscene amount. But if you consider how much time I saved and how easy everything was, it's worth it, We met our fixer, and we put the car on a ferry, on this really cool ferry, big ferry. I was surprised at how many trucks, these big 18-wheeler sized trucks, they could actually fit on there. And so they put the car on the ferry. We paid the guy another $100, and we headed towards the other side of the water, which is by the border of Sudan. And you guys want to see something cool? I mean, not cool, but it is interesting. But it's a wall that says no racism. Because even in Africa, there is racism amongst the people. Racism is not just about whites and blacks and Asians and Mexicans. I don't know why I said Mexican, but it can be even against your own people. But I like that. No racism. So, sorry, got distracted a bit. But yeah, so once we took the ferry to the other side, it was a 10-minute drive. And 10-minute drive to the border. And on our way to the border, it was like quiet in the car. So I was like, you know what, let's record a video, Carlos. And here's the video. Alright y'all, so this is the last video I'm gonna make with my boy Carlos here. After about a month and a half, I can actually say his name. Not Carlos. So yeah, man, we're headed towards the Sudanese-Egypt border. And just want to wish you a good trip back to the US. And thanks for all you've done in terms of helping me with the car. I don't think I could have ever imagined in my million years it would be this difficult to get a vehicle out of Egypt. So best of luck to you, man.
Alright,
For sure.
Best of luck to your African trip.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully I can make it out of Sudan.
You will. Easy.
Alright. Alright guys, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys in a bit.